on Paris all season, and
Hey.
there is a little bit of an issue here on Kings Row as well, as they are winless on Kings Row during the season. So we've already seen that last, I guess, record broken for Square One, and this time they could change their fortunes on Kings Row. If they keep playing like they did on Paris, I could totally see it happening, but the underdogs seem to be doing better on Assault than on any other map type so far. Bermuda, a very good example of that, tending to win Assault and losing the other 3 maps. Square One don't want to be that kind of team, as Uprising Academy going to go ahead and go Goats.
Uprising Academy gonna go Goats. No Widowmaker shenanigans for Mira, which is actually, I would say, a pretty good choice. Not getting a ton of value from his Widowmaker on Assault. Square One going to be defending with Goats. The only change is Tri-Spear is on the Ana, and Tri-Spear has actually had incredibly fast nano generation. So Square One likely going to be looking to that ultimate to give themselves a bit of a reprieve now that Uprising Academy have already taken up shop and taken an entire tick.
Yeah, they already got a tick pretty much just for pushing Square One off the point as they're trying to reposition in a better spot. Dub gets stunned, but does stay alive. Jolf and Hot Date still very low, but not as low as Titawat, who dies with only 22% ult charge. Look at the difference between Jolf and Titawat here. Titawat holding up the shield. Jolf might not even have a shield at 82% at this point in time.
Exactly. All he knows is kill, 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 and same could be said for Angelic. Oh, does get taken down, though, so this is actually a big opportunity for Uprising Academy. A bit too overeager here for Square One. They lose one of their support players, and Square One's going to find those much more quickly than, or Uprising Academy is going to find those reinforcements much more quickly than Square One, who, though, now have their ultimates on them.
Punk still not in the mech just yet. He is just now getting in the mech, so there's going to be time for Square One to come back because he could not push in with a baby Diva. Graviton Surge comes through from a Mirror. Will it be enough? Earthshatter is there to try to counter. Doesn't find anybody other than Mirror. Uprising Academy finds that first pick, and the Reinhardt is gone for Square One. 65 now for Uprising Academy. They're going to go ahead and use the Transcendence to try to push them off of the point, and the rest will fall. Square One will be losing out this point.
Scalar now deciding to pop the Transcendence just in case. Might not have needed it really, since it looked like Square One had already sounded the retreat. Dove backing up, but hey, better safe than sorry. Uprising Academy now have 4.5 minutes to continue to push through Streets phase, and Scalar is going to get that Transcendence up. And even if Square One do drop grab and win an early fight, Uprising Academy can probably guarantee their way through this archway. Who's guarding the cart? Looks like it's going to be Vegeta.
Man, we haven't seen Goats v Goats here in a little bit, and so we're going to see the classic versus the classic, the dance. The rehearsals have all already been done. We know how this goes. We've read this book, but that doesn't mean the book isn't good. Square One going to go ahead and use those over shields. They do have a couple more ultimates. Uprising Academy using their sound barrier as well. Now the Graviton Surge coming in from Dove isn't going to be enough. It's 2 kills now coming in from Uprising Academy.
Good bomb timing from Punk here. Catches Tri-Spear in the back, but that was all very well planned. You saw Joel taking a ton of damage. He himself was only a couple ticks of health, and his shield was shattered. So even if Punk didn't manage to slide that bomb into the back line, there would have been no Rhine shield to protect the rest of Square One. So Uprising Academy managing to find some good value from their ultimate, still ready with that grab, whereas Square One, empty.
Klaus waiting around the corner, seeing if he could get his nice shield bash off before Square One can come back. Uprising Academy have made a lot of progress here on Streets phase. Teams have been playing very aggressively on this point so far this season. There is a stun. Joel's going to get the shatter off. Punk on the ground, and now we got to pause.
Oh no. Look, tons of people have popped their ultimates, though. Mirror just popped Grav. We got the Transcendence coming out as well, so hopefully nobody's going to be losing too much.
You gotta assume that it might be Mirror.
It might be
because
Mirror,
of what happened a little earlier. But at least this time around, the grab was already used. Maybe saw it coming. Remember, you only DC in the most important moments in the fight.
Exactly.
It's very unfortunate, and this would not be any different.
Yeah. Oh, we almost got point B, guys. We dropped this grab. We made it. Yeah, nah. Internet gods say something else, but hey, you know,
who made them mad today? It was my whole neighborhood lost internet today for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then
we
you got
thought we
Mirror
might be late to
struggling.
broadcast, right?
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully, whatever we can do, whatever rituals we can appease the internet gods with, we shall do.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, smash a hard drive. I don't know what they need in terms of sacrifices.
I guess if you're sacrificing, it needs to be within the family. You tell us at home what you would sacrifice
what would you
for the
sacrifice?
internet gods. a modem. A modem would be nice.
Yeah, you got a couple of
Maybe
those
just
lying
like a
around,
cat
maybe.
cord or something.
Cat cord,
Cat
exactly.
5.
You got like an RCA cable you could, rip up.
And at this point, we're just naming just
Things
items that we know, as opposed to actual sacrifices
Exactly, which
for
I
the
don't-
internet gods. And we're going to go ahead and reprieve the audience here by talking about something else. Square One looking much better here. I'm actually really happy with what I'm seeing, even though they're getting pushed back by Uprising Academy. The same like lackadaisical play that we saw at the first half of the season not really coming up here. Square One showing a little bit of hope, showing a little bit of that moxie that they for sure lost after that first week loss against Gladiators Legion. It
So
seemed like the wind was taken out of their sails for a very long while, and then they got the upset against Sky Foxes, and after that they've been playing so very well.
And Square One is a case here where you like what you know and you know what you like, and there's no shame here. We just got a bit of information. It's actually Hot Date's internet now, who fizzling out just too hot. It was too hot for him to handle. But so we're gonna wait for Square One to get reconnected so we can get back into game, folks. But Uprising, I actually didn't manage to see what Ultimate Square One had dropped. It was a dead heat though. That was the thing. A dead heat between the two of them. Uprising Academy had Grav, and Square One didn't have Grav or Transcendence. So I actually think that once we get back in, it's probably going to go the way of UPA.
But Hot Date did lose out on. He's not going to be there. He got disconnected, so they're already going to be down a member. So it's like Uprising Academy are going to be entering this with the pick, which should bode well for them, especially since they have the momentum already. Speaking of Hot Date, he's got like the coolest name I've ever heard in my life. Just so you know,
we were waiting for like a way to like to slip this in, but we're just going to say it.
Yeah, his name is
so awesome.
Kavanaugh Aragon. That is sick.
Aragon.
That's so cool.
Damn,
mine's just Chris.
I know. Well, mine's Evelyn. Like
it's actually like, Mindy.
Sounds like Evil Lynn. That's my gross name. It's Mindy. Yeah, but like I don't know. I can't hold a candle. I have two names. It doesn't even hold a candle to his one name. Kavanaugh Aragon.
Kavanaugh Aragon.
I really want to know what like the story. That's like a name that definitely has a story.
It's like in Game of Thrones or something, right?
It's like you're a D&D character already.
Did you ever read the Aragon series?
I did. Yeah,
I didn't.
Well, I'm sorry
you
missed out on that.
It
had dragons. It had a dude called Aragon in it.
Uh-huh.
So what you do though is you watch the movie version of it, Wasted, and then don't ever read the book.
Okay,
that's all you need.
Only if you're of age.
Only if you're of age, exactly. If you're not of age, just watch the movie anyways, because it is like what's your one of your guilty pleasure movies? It's like so bad it's good.
Two of them, 100%. It's going to be Day After Tomorrow, and
highly recommended.
This is the one I'm actually ashamed of. It's the Divergent series. I'm sorry, I just thought.
Actually, that's not too bad. Mine is like National Treasure.
See, but that's like a classic guilty pleasure.
Is it?
Right? I think so. I think most people like National Treasure.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. It's like the Nick Cage factor. Always kind of like, right? Because like the other Nick Cage movies, I don't even know if they could be considered pleasurable.
The Rock is the best Nick Cage movie.
I don't know. I think it's Ghost Rider 2: Spirit of Vengeance.
That movie exists. So does this game. Let's talk about Overwatch. And so now let's go ahead and talk about Uprising Academy, as I don't look at anything on these papers. Uprising Academy.
This is not Uprising Academy.
Nope. We talked about expectations at the beginning of this match, right? And that how we need to increase our expectations for this team, because I think they've gotten there. But one of the issues that we've seen from Uprising Academy all season so far is the cleanup crew. The cleanup crew has faltered on occasion, and it usually happens when Titawat gets 2 kills and then dies, right? And then he dies himself, and then everyone else has to compensate for that. And it's been difficult for Uprising Academy. We've been seeing a little less of that here, but I think it has shown itself at times where Square One haven't been able to officially come back, but I can't help but think that another team could do a little bit better against Uprising Academy with the room that they've been giving Square One.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of room to play with for Uprising Academy. There are definitely holes that you can walk through. Swimmer, of course, goes goes for those very risky reses at times, definitely known as a support player who likes to just put himself out there, can be a liability for the team. Of course, Titawa as well, sometimes first to fall in those fights, maybe the last to fall, but it doesn't matter because everybody else has died in his absence. So there's definitely a lot of room for Uprising Academy to just tighten things up, right? Because like you said, with any other team, we're going to see those seams ripped wide open.
Well, unfortunately, we haven't solved Hot Date's internet issues just yet, so we're going to throw to a quick break. We'll be back soon. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a little bit of an update for you, and unfortunately for Square One, it seems like Hot Date will be missing out on the given window to try to get his internet back going. He is actually traveling between houses to get to a working computer right now, so that means that Square One will be finishing out this map 5v6. However, if Hot Date is able to get everything going on his new computer, he can join in the middle of the game. That's totally cool. So fingers crossed, that's what we're going to get. But we're most likely going to be seeing Square One function as a group of 5 for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, really unlucky for Square One here. It's 5v6 on King's Row. We were right at point B, but yeah, you only get that 10 minutes of official allotted time to break between those maps. So hopefully Hot Date, though, can get that connection set back up and rejoin us quickly.
And just to kind of paint the picture of where we were, you said we're right before Streets phase. A bunch of ultimates just got utilized, and unfortunately, Square One will be without Hot Date. So that's their kind of flex player. That means the Mei, the Diva, all of that stuff won't be available again for the foreseeable future. But I do want to reiterate that he can come back in the middle of the game once he gets his client downloaded on the new computer and gets all of his T's and I's crossed and dotted, and can come back when he is ready. But you're seeing it right now. Square One going to fall just with 5 members. And this just stinks for Square One, man. They were playing pretty well, and they were playing with just this energy I hadn't seen from them, honestly, since last season and the last couple weeks. And this is a really great way to stop everything in its tracks. It's super unfortunate.
All of this momentum, and Square One currently fighting for their lives as well, trying to avoid relegation. So they're going to come at it sans Hot Date, no Diva, no Sombra look either, but you still do have a Transcendence. Tri-Spear has worked that up in the duration of that point B fight. Uprising Academy happy to bide their time. They're very close to that Diva bomb. Might not even need it, though, as Scalar takes Angelic down. No Diva to absorb all of those volleys.
You might be able to win a 6v5 on ladder occasionally. One of my best experiences in Overwatch is when we won a 6v4, but this is competitive Overwatch. At this level, it's exponentially harder to do. It is possible, so Square One could come up on a really beautiful grab, and solid damage could be there, but there's just too much going against them right now, and Uprising Academy should be finishing this match shortly. Punk getting that self-destruct kill means that it will be happening. Round 1 is complete for Uprising Academy. And if you're Uprising Academy, this probably doesn't feel good either, right? You want to go against a team at their best, and knowing that they're a man down, that also doesn't feel good when you win a game like that.
Exactly. It doesn't feel quite as, it's not as though the scales of justice are leveled out right here. And for this kind of misfortune to strike Square One twice in a single season is just very unlucky for this team. Again, not anything that they control. This is all just circumstances due to environment. So Uprising Academy, though, now on the defense are going to be looking to hold Square One before completing King's Row, and it is looking very likely. It's one of the adaptations, though, that Square One was showing was they threw Angelic onto the Baptiste, so a little bit more damage there, a little bit more utility. You have the option to throw out the amplification matrix. You also have that insurance policy of the immortality shield. So curious if that's going to be something that they look to add in on their attack.
I think a nice little reprieve as well is that Square One is attacking second, because if they're defending with that DC, they would actually have less time for Hot Date to come back and try to get onto the client once more. But this time, they at least have what's going to be the first portion of this hybrid map, right?
Exactly.
He's going to have that 4 minutes to hopefully come back within that time, but we're going to be playing this through regardless. Uprising Academy, even though they might not feel good about these wins, I'd rather them also try their hardest still, even though they're against 5.
Exactly. That's, to me, a sign of respect when you still play your very best game. And we are going to see Uprising Academy trying out the bunker here on King's Row. Everybody on their respective heroes in their respective roles. You have Mirror back on the Widowmaker, Titawa on the Orisa, and Punk and Klaus on the Mei and Junkrat. So again, it's all about utilizing those abilities to their maximum effect. If Punk puts up a wall and nothing happens, that's going to be one major part of her kit wasted, and she's just going to be a sitting duck for some time. Square One themselves going to be looking for those picks. Tri-Spear on the Hanzo, going for those one-shot kills. Why not? Might as well. If Uprising Academy slip up and they let Scalar get out from behind that Orisa shield, the Ana will be easy pickings.
Square One need to find a pick, or else they will never see this point against Uprising Academy. They got to even it up, and the hard thing for Square One is even if they get a pick, then it's just even. They got to find 2 to really push an advantage. Punk, though, getting Angelic means Square One will have to wait a little while longer.
A little while longer, but they are set up on the high ground here, trying to rotate around. That this can be a safer spot for Square One to shell down on Uprising Academy, but Klaus's Junkrat strikes first and looking to take down this Orisa with his mighty fist. It was very close.
He got down to 10 HP. The Orisa almost got it back. That would have felt really good if you were Square One, but now with 2 minutes and 39 seconds, they're just hoping the hot date appears in this lobby all of a sudden and is able to bring this back to and have enough time to help out with the rest of this push. But as of right now, it's going to be very, very hard for Square One. Much of anything. Uprising Academy not really allowing them to either in this situation. Square One need to find that initial pick. It's all on Dove, who just got picked off by Mirror. And again, recovering from the mental instability I think this kind of causes you, right? It's hard not to give up in this situation, but you got to push regardless.
Exactly, but this is when we really see the moxie, the grit from these pro players. This is your job. You're going to show up. You're going to give it your all, just like Uprising Academy is here. Mirror taking no quarter, and why not, right? This is his job as well, to perform as best as he can. So Uprising Academy slowly banking up those ultimates as, Titawat takes a trip into the sky on one of those new SpaceX rockets or something like that. I'm sure they have them in the Overwatch future, right?
Is the Overwatch future like 20 years ahead, or is it like 100 years ahead?
I mean, London looks totally different. I don't remember a giant Mondada statue the last time I looked at it. There's never been.
Statues being built Square One now. Gonna have to try one more time, but Klaus's tire is not gonna let them. Square One gonna have to try once more. Joel coming up on Charger. Dub just not really making any progress either.
No, having a really hard time peeking against the Uprising Academy bunker. They have not only Titawat's shield to hide behind, but all of the incoming projectiles from May's Icicles, Junkrat's Mines, and, of course, Widow's Sights. Klaus takes it down. Dove's Tracer as well. Square One now swapping onto some more mobile heroes to just start overtime, keep things alive.
Can't even get out of spot. Mirror just too accurate right now. It almost makes me think that even if they had 6, Mirror is popping off right now. It's hard. It's hard for him to miss than to actually hit at this point in time. He's going to get those wall hacks as well. They'll know exactly where this bird in the sky is going to be and where they're trying to get that rocket barrage. There's only 34 seconds left for Square One, and Big All and Joel both have their ultimate supercharger is there. So it's the rocket barrage, and they do find that pick, and they're going to take down the supercharger. It's actually even right now. 4v4 for both teams. Just an opening on this point. Blizzard comes out, though, and that's going to be much harder for Square One to take over, especially since Dove and Joel are both frozen, but it's still not over for Square One. The attacking spots are going to be a little friendlier for them. They're going to have a full 6 or 5-member team coming back onto the objective here shortly. They've given themselves some hope as Joel switching over to the 76 just so he can make it back. Big Al needs to find more picks. Trispear's going to do just that.
Trispear finds the pick. Angelic has a Valkyrie popped as well, so tons of healing going the way of Square One, but a beautiful anti from Scalar means the 76 is no longer with them. Trispear, though, flex support player showing up for Square One right now. Can he take down the Hammond? He does!
And he's got the Dragon Strike, my friend. Square One is going to be taking this first point because the support player, Trispear, finally popping off on this Hanzo, and Uprising Academy lose point A in a 6v5. Square One, if nothing else, this is amazing for you. Trispear, good on you as well, my friend. You should clip that one. Square One, take the first point. Give HamTornado a little bit more time to come back. They've got 2 minutes and 18 seconds left.
Exactly. Please, green lights, don't fail us now. Man alive. Hands. Round of applause in chat here for Trispear, and now he has the Dragons ready to make a little bit more space for his team. Dove still on this Tracer, and this is actually not a bad look at all that Square One's running. Go for maximum mobility. You're not going to get a ton of healing necessarily, but Dove can survive largely on his own.
Trispear gonna get bullied this time around. The Uprising Academy didn't like what he did on that first point. Square One, though, coming up with some good ultimates. The Valkyrie will definitely help. Pulse Bomb can take someone out of the game, and the Rocket Barrage is what opened up the point last time around.
Yep, so Square One going to be playing for those ultimates again. They need to buy a little bit of space because Uprising Academy, with their superior numbers right now, just swarming the archway. One of the most difficult chokes to break out of here on King's Row, but Big All does have The rockets at the ready, and Uprising Academy gonna throw that nano.
He's gonna take it down. Big Al. It should not be long for everyone else. This is a stabilization for Uprising Academy. Once again, Square One, though, with the Valkyrie, with the Rocket Barrage, have an opportunity. Will they be able to do what they were due on point A and take it?
That's what Square One's going to be hoping for. Going to be difficult for Dove to get anything done on this Tracers, though indeed he does swap to the Diva. Klaus is on the Brigitte, likely for the express purpose of keeping those squirrely Tracers away from the Uprising Academy backline. So Dove now will be able to help Jolt buy some space here.
Rocket Barrage goes through the Divas into the air, but Titawat finding that kill. The Rocket Barrage needed to result in at least 2 kills if Square One wanted to stay in here. Jolt, though, with that Primal Rage, that's like having an extra person, right, with that much HP, but he's going to go ahead and fall. Valkyrie was not enough, especially with your bio. Tri-Spear has the Dragon Strike, and with 30 seconds left, there is enough time for him to for the team to come back as 5 EMP hits 4. Dragon Strike does go through. T-Walk getting Angelic means that 20 seconds is left on the clock for Square One to make something happen, but it's looking dire.
Looking very dire unless Joel can perform a miracle, but not when he's taking a nap. Scalar putting the Widow down on her back, and Square One now scrambling to even touch the point. Looks like they will be able to start overtime.
They're going to use the fast speed. The Goomba Stomp onto the Tracer will take Dove out. Only 3 members remaining for Square One for all 6 Uprising Academy. And that's just the unfortunate thing is Square One is down a member. If Uprising Academy get their pick first, then it's a 6v4, and teams rarely come back from that. As Uprising Academy do take that map, it's not really a good map to take a lot of information from either team, to be completely honest, but they do move up 2-1, and this is just so unfortunate because Square One were also not out of this playoff picture. They need to win this game if they want to give themselves a chance, but the internet gods were frowning today.
Oh, they were angry. Somebody did not put in enough sacrifices somehow, and it's so interesting. Uprising Academy just earlier mirror DC, right? And now Square One falling victim to that same happenstance. Uprising Academy now 2-1, just 1 away from clinching the series against Uprising Academy, but they are not out of it just yet. For a team that has, been struggling here and there, they've gone through a lot of 5-game sets, so they've been hardened, they've been forged in the fires of the 5-game set. We could see them bounce right back.
They need their 6th player, though. If
they do need Hot Take.
If they don't have a full
6-man
roster, it's going to be very, very hard. And they're going into, I believe, their best map type, closing it out. It's a big reason why I think they've been able to force these game 5s is because Escort's been friendly for Square One. The internet not friendly this time around. Let's talk a little bit about UPA, Uprising Academy, and Scalar for a second, because Dino was on the team. Dino was on the team all through Trials. Dino was on the team for the first couple weeks, but Scalar seems to be doing something different. What is the difference that you've kind of been seeing between those two supports?
Scalar has more, or at least with this current squad, seems to have more pop-off ability, right? Finding a lot of key sleeps, a lot of good antis, and very comfortable not just on the Zenyatta, but also on the Ana. I don't believe we saw Dino really play much Ana at all during his tenure with the Uprising Academy. So you get with Scalar, obviously, a lot of flexibility with that flex support role, and he has a pretty mean Roadhog, so that's something that Uprising Academy can always pull out, at least until the 2-2-2 lock.
I think he's got a pretty good Moira, too. Remember, at the beginning of the series, I was like, I think I saw Scalar play Moira more than any other hero when I first started casting him. I forget what team it was. It was a smaller tournament back in the day. I'll never forget. He had a play of the game on Moira where he got like 4 kills with the Coalescence / Biotic Orb, and it was a brutal type of Coalescence because he made that play. He didn't heal his team, but he did get 4 kills, and sometimes that's enough. Uprising Academy with Scalar definitely playing well. Titawat, though, playing consistently now, right? It definitely helps when the other side doesn't have all 6 members on. You're going to be playing more confidently, but confidence is a huge issue for this main tank. Exhibited a couple weeks ago by the fact that we saw him get nanoed like 4 or 5 times and immediately put up a shield and walk back. And yes, that is a lot of their opponents forcing that, but even taking him down so low during the nano, but he doesn't press W as often as we would have liked. And then last week, it was the complete other side of the equation. He was
so
just,
aggressive.
He was jumping in. And I loved that he got there in the adjustment. So now he knows where the middle is, and hopefully he can live there a little while longer, because it's been a good showing so far today.
Yep, today has been definitely one of the most solid of Tito Watt's performances so far this season. Now he knows kind of where those extremes are. Sometimes you just have to push the boundaries a little bit to know where you're going to be most comfortable. And I think Uprising Academy are also figuring out how to play around him the most, because a lot of those nanos, while it is certainly frustrating, hey, Hot Date is back. Kavanaugh Aragon has joined the squad.
How freaking cool is that name? I can't take it.
Right.
Anyway, Mr. Kavanaugh Aragon is back with his team.
Happy to see you.
Happy to see you for sure. They definitely needed you on Kings Row, but you're back and you're not out of this just yet. Part of me wants to see that 5th game now, just so it just feels more complete. It doesn't feel fair that they were down a member, but that those are the rules. They were given that time, and unfortunately, that's the world we live in right now. Square one. All 6 members are back.
All 6 members are back and ready to take a chunk out of Uprising Academy, who Mirror really taunting the hit scan gods right now. Dove had a very hard time of it on King's Row, but he's ready to show these birds who he is. Uprising Academy have Klaus on the Hanzo here, no Widowmaker, which is pretty interesting. Punk on the Mei. So going to be looking to frustrate both Hot Date and Jolf. Square One has actually preferred to run the Roadhog a lot more than Uprising Academy.
Both sides running the Mei. Really good usage of the walls, or potential uses for the walls in this courtyard area for Dorado, but it's all about breaking through. You need to find some ultimates sometimes. We've seen Roadhogs pop off on at this point, so wide open that the hooks are just going to inherently be a little easier to find. You don't need the setup from the Hulk as frequently when the point is just so open like this. Klaus, though, getting that initial pick, he might get picked off himself, and the rest has already been used for Square One, but already they have taken a good amount of time off. Uprising Academy have taken a good amount of time off the clock already. Dragon Strike with the Hulk to potentially take Hot Date down. That does happen. Good synergy coming in from a UPA. Square One will have to attack one.
I like watching the way Mirror plays this Pharah. There's kind of been a lot of different Pharah playstyles. You got the mid-air duelers, and then you got the sniper dunkers. You saw from Mirror's point of view just a little bit earlier, using that sight from Klaus to dive down onto Dove, and it doesn't matter how accurate your shot is. If the Pharah gets the jump onto you, all it takes is 2 rockets. So Uprising Academy piecemeal, dismantling Square One. Ooh, big bio from Scalar as well. But Square One, again, with so many one-shot kill heroes, have the opportunity to turn this even without ultimates.
Uprising Academy have an enormous ultimate advantage as well. Nice cancel on that rock rush. If it wasn't for the Nano, Mirror would already be dead. He's going to do it the old-fashioned way, as Mirror gonna find those kills. I like seeing Klaus pop off, man, especially since he's a representative of South America, the only one we have in Contenders. A pretty undervalued region in general. We almost need Klaus to start performing in order, I think, to get more members of South America into North American Contenders and beyond. Alamong on Boston Uprising is the only other one that of South American descent in Overwatch League or Contenders outside of South America.
Right, and it's so interesting because we have a ton of talented players right there, but it's going to be Big All taking Scalar down. Swimmer forced to pop the Valkyrie here in response. Likely not going to be able to find that resurrection, though, as Square One continues to push up.
Oh, this could be a brutal Dragon Strike coming the other way, though, and it does separate Square One and take the tank away. Joel's going to have to come back from his spawn. No, the res is going to be used, but another pick had already gone through, but there's one on the other side. This is still anyone's fight. Tri-Spirit could 100% bring this back for Square One. He needs to find something. That he does. Finding Swimmer is a big pick if you're Square One. Now you got to take the payload. You can't get low. Take a breather. Not available for you, as Klaus is able to take him down. This has been a scrappy fight so far here in the courtyard.
Very, but Tito Watt is still standing. Mirror, though, not for much longer. Not going to be able to use that barrage, but there still is the Blizzard freezing all of Square One in their tracks. Jolf is going to fall victim, but the shield going to save him for now, as Uprising Academy try and re-stabilize here in the very last seconds of this point A.
That was a gorgeous stall coming in from a Punk. Blizzard on one side, Wall on the other. The payload is not going to be taken, but he's going to fall, as I say, how great he is. It's kind of what happens. Uprising Academy now going to use that Dragon Strike once more. There is no halt to follow it up, and Square One are able to take this payload back. You don't see the Venom Mine kills, particularly on Mercies. very often, but there it is, friends. It's real as Square One take this first point. They have about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left.
A crucial pick from Tri-Spear right there to get Swimmer early on in that fight, because Mira was ready to drop that barrage, and if he had found even 2 kills with that barrage, it would have likely been another push for Square One before they could see point A. But if you take half of that pharmacy out of the air, that halves the usefulness of the component parts. So really good pick by Tri-Spear, and he's actually going to pick up the hog once again.
Yeah, even though that is the math, like 1 minus 1 is half of it, I think it's more than that in terms of impact, right?
Well, 1 minus 1 is
it's
0.
That happens every once. Square One,
numbers
guys. Overwatch. Angelic already using that Valkyrie. God damn, so embarrassed. Uprising Academy now gonna fall victim to a triple kill from Hot Date. That's not embarrassing unless you're from Uprising Academy. You don't see those happen very often, but welcome back, my friend. That's what you call a sacrifice to the internet gods.
Yep, another round of applause for Hot Date and Jolf, because we were just praising on Monday the ability of those halt combos to decimate your opponents. So tricky to use, but Jolf and Odd, one of his weaker heroes on this Orisa, really coming alive.
Supercharger is down for Square One, and the wall is going to come right through. And I like the fact that he placed it there, because I have seen in Contenders other teams place it in front of the payload as it turns. Blizzard, though, going to try to take the Supercharger out. That it probably will. It's going to run out anyway. Nice shot coming in from Dove. 3 members much make up for Uprising Academy as Square One continue their momentum. Grab that second point. Good stuff coming from them.
Great momentum from Square One right now. They're mad, man. They're like, we're internet gods don't like us. Well, we're going to fight the gods. Take it right to them, as Uprising Academy have now been pushed all the way into that third point. 2 minutes still to defend against Square One, who are going to be looking to change up the composition probably to something very GOATS-esque as Uprising Academy makes the same adjustments. This third corner is so difficult to push, so you really want to have the consistency of those tank ultimates coming in to get you around that final point, because while you might have a hot hand as a Widowmaker, if you start cooling off, 2 minutes will just fly by in the blink of an eye.
The good news for both teams is even though they have adjusted, a 4.5 is good enough to get everyone to their ultimates, and Scalar going to use the first one. That's going to be that Nano that should cause Square One to get pushed back just a little bit, but they are unable to find the kill. Nano with the shield up. That's something that Titawa is kind of known for right now. He's going to be taken low, but Mir going to find that kill. He's been a playmaker so far for Uprising Academy. This means that Square One are going to have to try once more, but they might decide to stay in this fight because they need to get to that grab. Without the grab, they probably don't finish this map.
Yeah, in all likelihood, but some trades coming through will definitely force the hard reset. Dove 80% to that grab, but Mir beating him by 10%, and this is the scary thing for Square One. Very, very scary, because even though Tri-Spear can respond, that means that they might not be able to actually touch the cart, depending on how things fall. But the good news is, if they can stay alive until Dove gets grabbed, and if he invests it, Uprising Academy have no way to respond.
Hot Date had a triple kill on that self-destruct a little earlier. Is he going to be able to recreate the magic, my friends? The grab surge is there, and the charge is going to get booped away. Beautiful displacement going on to that right here. Feng going to find 2 kills. Nothing for Square One. Earthshatter is down. Uprising Academy are in control. Square One have 20 seconds remaining.
Very, very close here. Now it's Square One. We were just saying Uprising Academy couldn't find much value from their grabs, but even though Square One struck first, Uprising Academy still able to respond there. What a beautiful bomb from Punk. If he did not find those 2 kills, Uprising Academy would be backs against the walls right now. As it stands, they still have sound barriers. Tri-Spear swaps onto the Moira, hoping for a last-second coalescence.
Gracious. Jolf, that feels so bad. He wasn't able to finish Hammer down. That Earthshatter gets canceled, and Square One already losing 2 members. This is all right progress for Square One, considering how much time they had. They were very low in terms of the time bank, going through Streets phase, going through point A, but they do make it to the last point, but they don't make any progress once they're here, as Uprising Academy need to clean this up. I always get worried when this happens. The Sound Barrier are going to keep them there, but the self-destruct's enough to zone them all away. Uprising Academy stopped them on third.
Ooh, very close thing for both teams. Square One definitely running with the wind at their backs all throughout Dorado. They really just hit that on switch, and it was up to Uprising Academy to put down that attack, and they did. around that point C, but it was very much in the air. You chuckle at me, Boop, but it really is. Who knows? If that sound barrier had hit a couple of more members of Square One, we could be looking at a much longer fight. Potentially, Square One could have brought it back. You never quite know. This is a team that has shown us so far in this match that they do know how to come back from behind.
Uprising Academy 100% don't want that to happen. They have won, I believe, every game that they have won has been a 3-1, so this will continue on to that pattern. Uprising Academy need to finish this out. Finishing it out has been their ultimate weakness. The cleanup crew has been slow but effective today, and now it's all about cleaning up the match in its entirety. They just need to make it to third. 31.55 is pretty much just the opening to that point. Uprising Academy know what they have to do.
And Square One know what they need to do as well. Win condition is set forth. They must put up a very strong point A defense. Point B can be very difficult to push, but it can also go in the blink of an eye. It's often a lot better to hedge your bets here on point A. You got a barrage, try and just use it and find that value, because Street Phase could be another whole ball game. Square One going to be going with Big Owl in the sky. Dove back on the Widowmaker has had a much easier time of it on Escort, finding those shots.
The halt is such a versatile cooldown. When you use it and how you use it can decide a fight. Do you wait for the cooldown for a Dragon Strike? Do you go for the hook? Do you go for the headshot? It's all up to them. And when you set anything up with the halt, then it's up to your teammates to actually complete the combo. It's just a halt unless there's a follow-up, right? You need the oink and the yoink. And right now, Dove gonna yoink Funk's head right away with that headshot. And Swimmer gonna get the res though. Jolf is sleeping. Uprising Academy still making it to the courtyard here on Dorado as the May gonna use that cryo to heal up. Square One still on this defensive side. They need to find a pick those. Dove out of position.
Ooh, Dove in a really unfortunate 2v1 there. Not much peel coming from his team. No Diva to be seen. Hot dates on the Roadhog this time around. And Punk manages to escape with his life, doing some real damage here in the backline. And now helping chunk down Jolt. This Orisa is likely going to fall as Uprising Academy slowly but methodically once again making their way through this defense.
It's almost in those situations when you have an Orisa, right, that's trying to stay alive, trying to stall out a point, but the longer you stay alive, what are you going to do? Feed more ultimate. So it's almost better to me sometimes just to say, you know what, this is a losing fight. It might be better just to stop healing me and not feed the Sparrow that much more ultimate charge. It could be the difference between 92% now and 70% now, which could be a game changer. We won't know though. It's just kind of something that I've been thinking about lately is you fight really hard for these points. You want to show that grit. You want to be able to come back, but sometimes it's written in the book. You are probably going to lose this fight as Hot Take gets that initial pick on the Swimmer, and that means Uprising Academy could lose this one out, even though they get a pick on the other side. The Mercy's a much better one, but the Rocket Barrage comes out from Punk. Some bodies get punked once again. Uprising Academy feeling pretty good. Nice initial pick from Square One, but not enough.
Oh, but Scalar is, you can tell that he subscribes to the school of offensive Anas, using the nanos to force T to Watt forward, to force Punk ahead. It's totally fine, man. I got the nano. Oh, man, alive. Definitely thought that that push might be over once Swimmer went down. Good focus fire again from Square One, but Uprising Academy almost expecting that kind of play style and ready and willing to use the tools to bring things back.
Now you gotta cover the res. He's gonna try to get it. That he does. Klaus is going to get that kill on the Dragon Strike. So the momentum should still be continuing for Uprising Academy. Square One though, best of their res. It's not over for them yet. Dove surviving by the skin of his teeth. Nice biotic grenade though coming from Uprising Academy. Jolt is low. He's going to have to use position. The halt's already out. The supercharger is as well for Uprising Academy, but Punk is gone. It's a 5v5 for both sides. The supercharger is both ways, so everyone has the same amount of damage. And we've seen Trace even with these superchargers, the kills aren't happening as quickly as one might expect. The shielding from the Orisas has been pretty spot on so far here on both sides on Square One's defense. And Uprising Academy, though, seem to be winning out in the end. Angelic is low. Biotic Grenade is there as well. Uprising Academy will be capturing this point. 31 meters remaining for Square One to stop UTA.
Once you cap that high ground, it's so incredibly difficult to defend. Uprising Academy had the angles, they had the drop onto square one. They were basically just bunkering down, hoping that the Supercharger and the Risa Shield would get them through the day. But Uprising Academy, just so much firepower. And now they have the Widow's Sights as well. That's going to be it for Uprising Academy and Square One as UPA take it 3-1.
I believe this means that Square One will most likely get relegated. I'll get the confirmation a little while, maybe during the break when we do the math, but Uprising Academy are going to solidify themselves in the playoff picture. Now it's all about who they're going to play once the bracket comes through. Very good stuff coming from Uprising Academy. Yes, one of those maps was a 6v5, but they do win the 2 other 6v6s to give them that 3-1 map score. Square One fought hard. They fought to the brink. Hot Date comes back from being disconnected, getting a triple kill in response. That's what you like to see. I like what Square One did today. I think they showed up and they played their hearts out, which is really good for them.
Yeah, I would agree. The moments when you had Square One as that full 6 together, I mean, just you really do want to just go and clip that halt into a bomb because again, it's not just Hot Date making a great individual play, which we see all the time, right? But it was the team coming together and on a map type that they've struggled with, on a hero that their main tank has not had a great time with, and with their player that just disconnected, ran over to his cousin's house, installed the Overwatch right there, jumped right in game, maybe not even his own peripherals, still managed to find that combo. And I think that bodes very well for this squad.
They should be proud of their performance, I think. And that's going to be it for our first match today, as Uprising Academy are going to take down Square One 3-1. And now we're going to be moving on to our second match, which is the Golden Season. Atlanta Academy is going to face off against Bermuda. One might think that this is going to be a walkover for Atlanta Academy, but when we get to Assault, that might be a problem area for Atlanta Academy because Bermuda are pretty good on it. We're going to find out after the break.